Let's talk about building your 2026 priority reading list. And I don't just mean a list of books you might get to. Nope. We're talking about a real intentional plan to make next year your absolute best reading year yet. You ever feel like social media has your reading list in a gorilla grip chokehold, right? You see the same 5 books pop up everywhere. You finally grab one and it's fine. Just fine. It's so easy to fall into that trap, letting algorithms and whatever's trending pick our books for us. So here's the deal. For 2026, let's make a change. Let's move away from these algorithm reads, the ones driven by trends that so often end up being just kind of average 3-star experiences. Instead, we're going to focus on priority reads. These are the books you intentionally choose, the ones you have a really good feeling you're going to love. We're aiming for a year packed with 4- and 5-star reads, nothing less. So what's the plan? Think of it like a quest. We're going to look at 4 different kinds of reading experiences to build out your list. We've got an epic journey to get lost in, some bold new worlds for pure escapism, unforgettable voices that'll give you a new perspective, and, of course, a page-turner that you just can't put down. All right, first up, the epic journey. This is for when you're ready to really, truly commit to a book. I'm talking about a story that becomes your companion, a whole world you can live inside for weeks, and you're actually sad to leave when it's over. And for that epic journey, we're looking at a true classic, Lonesome Dove. Now hold on, I know what some of you might be thinking. A Western? Really? Not for me. But trust me, that is the magic of this book. It completely transcends its genre. Because the characters, oh man, the characters are just that good. And when I say epic, yeah, I mean it. We're talking 843 pages. Look, it's a commitment, for sure. But it is one of the most rewarding commitments you can possibly make as a reader. It's a big investment, but the payoff is absolutely huge. So what's it all about? Well, we follow this group of retired Texas Rangers on one last great adventure, a huge cattle drive. It's just this sweeping, incredible story about friendship and love and what it feels like when an era is ending. And here's why it's a priority pick, plain and simple. It's a Pulitzer winner that is beloved by pretty much everyone, even people who swear they don't read Westerns. It's the kind of book you finish and you just have to talk to someone about it. Okay, let's switch gears. Our next category, bold new worlds. If you are looking for pure, unadulterated escapism, worlds that are nothing like our own, then this section is totally for you. We are diving into some unforgettable fantasy and sci-fi. How about this for a hook? Think Ocean's 11, but make it fantasy. I mean, come on. That is the perfect description for the lies of Loch Lamora. You immediately know exactly what kind of ride you're in for. Something clever, super stylish, and packed with brilliant schemes. So what makes this book such a fantastic pick? We're following a crew of elite con artists known as the Gentlemen Bastards. The plot is this amazing heist story, but honestly, the real star here is the writing. It's so witty, it's fast-paced, and it is genuinely funny. And here's a huge bonus. Even though it's the first in a series, it has a totally satisfying ending, so there's absolutely no pressure to keep going if you don't want to. And hey, if you want your fantasy a little darker, maybe a bit more brutal, you should also check out The Shadow of the Gods. This one is a gritty, action-packed adventure set in a world of monsters and mercenaries, and it's heavily inspired by Norse mythology. It's perfect if you love epic, bloody battles. All right, next up we have Unforgettable Voices. These are the books that really stick with you long after you finish them, all because of their powerful characters and really unique perspectives. They aren't always about these huge, grand plots, but more about the deeply human stories they tell. Okay, this description for Brick Makers by Selva Almada is just perfect. Romeo and Juliet vibes, but gay. It's intriguing, it's modern, and it immediately sets the scene for a story about fated connections and deep-seated rivalry. This is a short but powerful novel that follows the sons of 2 rival families who are caught in this feud they inherited but never actually started. It has this almost mythic feel to it, a story of conflict and connection. So why is it a priority read? Because it's an absolutely incredible piece of translated fiction that you can read in just a sitting or 2, but I promise you, its emotional punch will stay with you for a long, long time. And in that same vein, you should also consider Real Life by Brandon Taylor. It's this brilliant, razor-sharp campus novel about Wallace, a Black queer biochemistry student from Alabama. And it follows him over a single summer weekend as he navigates the subtle and not-so-subtle hostilities of his mostly white university. And finally,
For those times when you just want a book that grabs you from the very first page and absolutely refuses to let go, we have The Page Turner. This is the book you devour in a day, the one that makes you completely forget about everything else. And this right here just brilliantly lays out the setup for Never Lie by Frida McFadden. I mean, the premise is a total masterclass in suspense. You've got a trapped couple, a secret room, and a bunch of cassette tapes that slowly unravel a dark, terrifying story. You're hooked before you even open the book. So, why is this a priority pick? Because it knows exactly what it is. It's a pure, unadulterated thriller, and it does its job perfectly. The writing is simple, it's propulsive, it's designed to just keep you turning those pages. Every single chapter ends on a cliffhanger, leaving these little breadcrumbs that make it pretty much impossible to stop reading. It's the perfect book to pick up when you need a palate cleanser after a long, heavy read. So, as we wrap this up, let's bring it back to the main idea. This isn't just about finding a few good books. It's about consciously crafting your own personal reading journey for 2026. It's about being intentional. So, what are the key takeaways for an intentional 2026? It really all comes down to balance and purpose. Make time for that epic journey you can get lost in. Let yourself escape to bold new worlds. Actively seek out those unique, unforgettable voices that challenge you and move you. And hey, don't forget the pure, simple joy of a fantastic page turner. You see, by choosing your books with purpose, you're not just reading stories. You're basically curating the story of your own year. So the real question is, what kind of reading year do you want to have? What will your story be in 2026?